Hello every misguided robot, and welcome back to the series where we take a look at really weird, obscure VTech toys. I've got another one today, and boy, this is good. This is a good one. But before that, a quick question. Have you ever wondered how a company would innovate on the most basic of concepts? Well, now it's time to ask ourselves, now then VTech, what's the jank? And today, it's none other than... What the heck is that thing? Yes, this is a pretty rare one. I managed to find it, I would say about a month ago. I managed to do it on Toy Archive Month, which is kind of cool. But this is the 2003 VTech Stack and Discover Rings, I'm pretty sure it was called. Or just Stack and Discover, I'm not quite sure. They've made kind of so many of these that it's like really hard to find any info on this one. Because every time I was trying to look it up, I kept finding videos and shit on the crappy one from 2016, or the weird one from, like, there are loads of these, and none of them are really that great. But this one, I think, is kind of one of those. It manages to do, like, it doesn't do much, but it does a lot with what it has. But anyway, let's start talking about this thing. It looks strange. It kind of looks like a ball with four of these weird, kind of, quite triangular, but kind of, I would say, kind of triangular things coming from them. Also, there are vehicle noises outside, because when are there not vehicle noises outside? But it's kind of standing on these, and each one has 3 buttons. On some of these you have different things. This one you have some text. This one you have a switch and a speaker. And I believe one of these has a battery door, although I don't remember where it is. It's probably on this top one. It comes with 3 of these weird ring things, which I thought they would be different sizes, but I guess it doesn't really detect what size they are. So those just come right off. Those are just pieces of like molded plastic with little weird design things on them. Each of them are a different color and have different textures. And oh yeah, there's the battery cover. Let's spin it around. So easy to get yourself disoriented on this thing because there's just so much that looks the same. We have the normal VTech, what I like to call like the Smart Start face. So yeah, quite a cool stacker. I mean, you can stack these up on here. That's cool, right? Right. But this thing does something kind of interesting. If you're kind of into electronic games, you probably would have heard of something called the Brain Warp from Tiger Electronics. This works kind of like that. I say that because like there aren't too many toys that really do this. Like I think this is like the only one. But basically, if I take all these off, this thing becomes a strange thing, because you can take this and you can kind of rotate it, and depending on what you have on the top, the mode will change. So I just find that really cool how they went from like, oh yeah, there's the back one. They went from kind of, I've noticed with the whole Smart Start line is you have really interesting ways of changing modes. Like, yeah, you still have a mode switch or a mode slider, but sometimes you have like a weird, it really feels like you're interacting with these, which I think that just makes a good toy when you're physically interacting with the mechanical components of it. You know, buttons are a tried and tested method, but the kind of flip sensor in this is kind of cool because you just But anyway, let's turn this thing on. I might angle this thing down a little. Each of these ends light up, and this thing takes 2 AA's. So let's turn it on, and we'll be greeted with
Grab the rings and count to 3.
everybody's favorite VTech jingle. So
Grab the rings and count to
Oh yeah, this thing has like some weird buzzing going on. I don't know if that's just light interference. I don't know what that is, but
Grab the rings and count to 3.
you can kind of hear stuff like that. So what you can do is stack these up.
1.
And it has these. Actually, I'm gonna pull this up a bit. I changed my mind. It has some really cool, like, yes, I know. It has some really cool square wave stuff and some PCM drum samples in there, which I think is kind of cool.
3. Grab the rings and count to 3.
So now, if I take this top one off, hopefully,
3.
3, 3. It's kind of, oh, it's kind of like that, yeah. As I say, dropping one of the things. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. These things roll. How unprofessional was that? I know, man. Yeah, let's do that again.
1.
And another.
2.
And another.
3. Grab the rings and count to 3.
And this thing has like a bunch of familiar VTech jingles and stuff like that I think is really cool how they did this whole thing. Like, I like the kind of familiarity VTech had, kind of 2000s, even early 2010s. So.
3. 3. 3. 3.
Okay. Yeah. 3. 3. 3.
Grab the rings and count to 3.
3.
3.
3. Let's see, can I? No, it needs to, it's a bit more intelligent than that. 2. I think if I press this button just manually and let go.
3.
Yeah, so it knows a difference between a kind of, you have the thing on and you have, you know, it knows when buttons are being held down. So if I put them on the top, it's basically what that mode does, you know, nothing crazy. But we got 4 other ones to look at, so. What happens if I flip it to this one?
Grab the rings and stack them up. Tall. Taller.
And
Tallest. Grab the rings and stack them up.
so it kind of just does that, I think. Tallest. Tall.
Tallest.
Tallest. No, that's not tallest.
Tallest.
That's not.
Tallest. Tallest.
It's not the tallest it can be, Mop Bob. Okay. Yeah, this thing is a little strange. I don't know if mine just has some weird, like. I should probably at some point try and clean those buttons out.
Grab the taller.
Taller. So now if I take that off.
Tallest.
No, stop thinking it's. Okay. That is the one thing I wish this thing could do. Because now it thinks that there are 3 on when there aren't. I wish it knew the difference between kind of. Well, it's weird. In the music mode, it definitely does know the difference. But if I try to take this one off, because it's brushing past that top button, it thinks that top button has been activated. I mean, I get that there was no real way around that, but it's just kind of strange. Tallest. Tallest.
Grab the rings and stack them up.
And what's also funny is you can
1, 2,
still activate
3.
the buttons.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You know, it.
1, 2,
Let's see.
3. 1, 2, 3.
It knows kind of when you're not on a mode, but you can still kind of interact with
Grab
it.
the rings
I like that
and stack
aspect.
them up.
Alright, let's go to the next one. I'm probably going to save the music mode for last, so hopefully this isn't it.
Grab the rings and play with
Sounds.
sounds.
Okay, let's do that. You'll recognize these sounds. Boing, boing. Yay. So those are the 3 sounds you get.
Grab the rings and play with sounds.
I think 2 of those were used on the twist rock and roll. Let's see. 1. That one I think was used on the 2004 VTech Moving Pool Ball. I have that thing, by the way. I have 2 versions of it, an English one and a French one. That thing is going to be insanely hard to film, but if anyone wants me to look at that thing, I can. And finally, we should go to arguably the coolest mode on the thing.
Grab the rings and play with sounds.
It's kind of strange because this toy is one of those, like, it doesn't really, it's not the most kind of, you know, technologically impressive. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it's like quite basic, but what it does do, it does well in an interesting way. Okay, let's...
Grab the rings and play a tune.
First of all, I'm going to run through all the songs this has, so I'm going to do that just by hitting the button. Don't know if you can see, but the things do light up. I'll put these aside and try and like zoom in to one of them so you can just see how the lights work. They're really not that bright, so they're not like the best lights on the thing, but you know what? Also, I've yet to put this thing on really low batteries, which I want to do. Yay. And one day I would like to get this thing in like as high quality as I can get the recording, because the speaker isn't great on it. I think we got one more. I don't know if this got I know this got like multiple language. I know this exists in German. I've seen a video of it. I think there's a Spanish one. I don't know if this got a US release. If it did, it's rare as all hell, like all the other Smart Start stuff. Okay, yeah, we're back to the first one. So, if I put this first ring on, it mixes animal sounds into it. Let's see, if I hold this on here and then drop it down. Meow. Yeah, I thought it would do that. So kind of cool how they did that. And if I add the third one, it's going to play through another song. And then it knows I have all 3 on, so it does that.
Grab the rings and play a tune.
I know what to do.
Grab the rings and play a tune.
And what's also cool is something I'll show in a minute once the song is done. But you could potentially, let's see, flip it to another side. Pop the camera as always. Still on this, you can activate. It's kind of hard because they're on the bottom, but you can still access the songs it has, and it will, because you have nothing on it, it will automatically just add all the animal sounds in. So I think kind of just the lesson learned with this thing is like, if I had to take one thing away from owning this, it would be kind of, not that it doesn't matter what something does, but it kind of, Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter what it does, but this thing does it well. Like, it doesn't, like, this is no really cool high-end thing, but kind of how they managed to innovate on something that really kind of didn't need innovating on is kind of why I like VTech in this time period, because they did a lot of things where they work differently to how you think they would, or they do what you think they would, but they do it in kind of a cool way. Whereas now it's kind of, you see something and you kind of know exactly what it's going to do and how it's going to do it. You know, when I first found this thing, I wasn't quite sure. I was like, how is it going to be able to do that, you know? Someone told me it worked kind of like a brain warp, and I was like, why would they implement that in something like this? But actually kind of having one in hand, it makes sense, it's cool. And anyway, flipping this thing around is fun. So what I'll do is just flip this around, stack this stuff up on it. Actually, I have a stupid idea. Could you probably could do it, should you probably not. I wonder if, can you, yeah, you can, that's something you can do. Whee! That's oddly fun, actually. Let's get all these off. But this thing also feels like mine doesn't feel like it's in the best shape, but it doesn't feel like it's about to die either. Like this plastic they used kind of really feels like it was, you know. This thing, I'm not going to do it, but it feels like you could pick it up by one of those and throw it and it would just kind of land. Let's pop this on. 1,
2, 3.
There you go, you guys know how to count now.
Grab the rings and count to 3.
But yeah, that's basically what this toy does. Like I said before, it doesn't do a whole lot, but what it does do and what it uses, and oh yeah, hey, that tape residue on the side of the thing. It's interesting. I don't know what I'll do for this series from now on, because there aren't many things I have left to do from the early 2000s. I mean, there are a couple more Smart Start things. I have one more. Well, I used to have 2 more, but I recently got rid of one because it was just all broken and didn't really have the space for it. The Smart Start Sort and Saw rocket exists, but that thing is going to be really hard to film because shapes fly out of it, that's all I'll say. They did, I think, a couple more Smart Start things. Like, I know they did the, what was it called? Like, the weird walker thing with the steering wheel on it. I had one of those, couldn't really get it to work reliably. I had a spin and learn top. I might get one of those again at some point, because it was actually kind of cool. Mine just really felt like it was well loved, and slowly but surely over time, it just kind of crumbled, which is kind of sad, because that thing it's cool. There's like a couple more things from 2003 that aren't strictly Smart Start, but they're not really, I mean, I guess some of them have a bit of jank to them. Like, I want to get I think it's called the Smart Key at some point. I want to get that. I know there's that roly-poly learning tree thing, but that thing sounds like it's kind of, well, not put together, but like, sounds like it's kind of, I don't know how, I don't know, it kind of feels like that thing there wouldn't be much to talk about because it works well, it does what it needs to. But it kind of, it's weird with VTech toys because a lot of the time they just kind of do things in a way that makes sense to the toy. And a lot of the Smart Start stuff kind of went in strange directions with it. But yeah, I was thinking of, you know, whenever I want to, I can maybe start looking at some things from late 2000s, early 2010s. Because, if you think VTech was janky when this thing came out, and when all the other Smart Start stuff was a thing, oh no. You ain't seen nothing yet, because I've got some things that I am just so excited to do a video on. But until next time, we should have the obligatory, hey look, it's a misguided robot. Isn't that cool?